お前はどこまで見えている。俺の死に様か。
Naruto just guessed about it, independently building theories. POV Naruto. I was lying in my room on the bed and staring at the ceiling. I had a bad headache because of my thoughts about fucking Sasuke. Uchiha needs strength, and for her sake, he abandoned the village, friends, Sakura, and me, and I could not bring him back, even though I made a promise to Sakura. Am I really such a terrible friend? I sighed heavily, trying to get away from these disgusting thoughts. Ha ha ha, was heard somewhere. I jumped out of bed and began to look around, but I didn't see anything new. What? Who's here? Who's laughing? Answer me. Close your eyes, an unknown being echoed in my head, and I listened to him, following his order. Opening my eyes, I shuddered. The place in which I found myself was an old sewer. Water was dripping from the pipes around me. The water was also on the floor and reached up to my ankles. The room was neither cold nor warm and no smells, clean. And the turning point was a huge cage in which something was sitting. Something was making terrible sounds, similar to growling, and Wild Fox Eyes said that the creature unknown to me was definitely not cute. You're pathetic, he said. I couldn't even defeat Uchiha. The creature grinned contentedly, showing me even and sharp teeth. Pathetic, I agree. But you're pathetic too. I decided not to be silent, but to stand up for myself, not remaining in debt to this demon. What makes you think that? The creature growled. How from what? You're in a cage and now you look pathetic too. From your aura and evil wild look, it's not difficult to understand that you are very strong. So why is the terrible creature imprisoned? You're sitting here and talking shit. Isn't that a pathetic sight? What do you think? The demon finally came out of the depths of his prison and showed all of himself. It was a big, no, just a huge fox, behind which there were 9 tails. He fell down, there was contempt in his eyes, he definitely hated me. Well? And am I pathetic, and me? The fox froze and smiled, and then began to laugh. I don't know what would have been different, but it also became funny to me, and I also burst out laughing, though I quickly stopped and began to look at the fox, and then asked him, who are you, and what is your name? I am a 9-tailed demon fox, my name is Kubi, but Yoko. I'm not very happy to get acquainted, but I have no choice. The fox sat down and stared at me, he showed his rage with all his gut. Well, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. And unlike you, I am very glad to meet you, I inform him, and smiling brightly the fox chuckled without saying anything to me about it. I didn't say anything either. There are a lot of questions, but I can't get over the shock. It was a big, red fox. His fur, probably soft? I didn't even notice how I crossed the bars and began stroking his paw. The fox froze, and I froze too, realizing what a stupid thing I had done. Am I an idiot? In front of me is a potential enemy, a 9-tailed demon, the one that attacked Konoha 13 years ago. And I'm calmly stroking him here. You. He roared, where is it visible that I would be stroked? Pitiful man. If you stroke, then stroke on the head at least. I froze when I heard what the fox said. Does he mind? What's going on in his head? No. What's going on between the two of us? End POV Naruto POV Kurama. This child has been my prison for 13 years. Before that I was sitting in his mother, and she behaves so strangely. Being a kid, she behaves so idiotically, smiles cheerfully at everyone and, here, talks to me. I've been with her since she was born, but I wasn't particularly interested in her before, so what's changed now? I wanted to infuriate her and morally destroy her by seizing her body. So what's wrong? Why is she so calm? Am I not scary? This human child is funny. I admit, I like her a little. End POV Kurama POV Naruto. I continued stroking the fox's muzzle, And I wondered if he was the one who attacked the village. And you're the one who attacked Konoha? Why did you do that? The fox fell silent. I stopped stroking him. I didn't mean to attack. He opened his eyes and looked at me. Someone from the ecchi took over my mind and ordered me to destroy Konoha. He called himself Madara. The fox continued to speak listlessly. Your parents, for Hokage and Kushina, sealed me in you. We wished thereby to make a hero out of you, but you yourself know what happened next with you. I wanted to kill you, but your parents shielded you with themselves, the fox said gloomily. My parent is a man I have admired since childhood. My father was the fourth Hokage. Then, for what special reason did they decide to hide it from me? Why was he called a monster? Why was everyone avoiding me? And what if a terrible fox demon is sealed in me? Isn't it more dangerous to be ignored? I've always been lied to since I was a kid. Of course, that I Jinchuriki knew, guessed. But I could not believe that my ideas were different from the truth, that it was the truth I believed. I was very shocked. It was difficult for me to translate all the information given to me, but the fox decided to finish me off completely today. Well, then let me surprise you again, he said, laughing. Duh. What are you talking about? You're not a boy, what? Naruto shouted loudly. He did not expect this and did not believe the words of the fox. Is this a joke? Why would I be a girl? It's clear from the nine tails that he wasn't lying. Naruto has long learned to distinguish lies from the truth due to the frequent deception of others, and he saw that he was not lied to. Your mother and father were expecting a boy, but a girl was born in her womb. I knew that perfectly well. Your mother and I were bad friends, and I decided to prank her. I imposed a strong illusion that I eventually exceeded the possibilities. When you were born, you were a boy. But my chakra was so much invested in the illusion that it has held up until now. But it will soon dissipate and you will become a girl. The fox was beaming, he was happy with his prank. But Naruto did not feel very well, trying to somehow perceive this information. What did he have to do? And when will it dissipate? Right now, the fox said, snapping his fingers. A small cloud appeared, which dissipated, and a blonde girl appeared in front of the fox. She was tall enough, taller than her boyish body, with long loose hair that hid the girl's rather noticeable breasts. The previous clothes of her male version were tight and they parted at the seams, turning into pathetic scraps of fabric. Ah! A squeaky girlish voice echoed throughout Naruto's subconscious, covering his body. What are you shouting about? Pinching his ears, the fox boomed. This is terrible. I don't want that. What the hell were you under that you came up with this? What should I tell others? Can you imagine? And this nine-tailed demon fox living in me joked like that? Can you imagine? Is this what you want? Yes. Naru shouted, puffing out her cheeks. Uzumaki felt terrible, not wanting to take it all as the truth, even though she understood that it was not a lie. The whole truth is in front of her, and if you think about it, then it was quite comfortable to feel in a woman's body. Remember the same seduction technique that she came up with for a joke for the sake of being a kid. Naruto sighed, well, she's not him anymore and now we need to move on. And what are you going to do? I don't know, it's up to you, said the fox, shrugging his shoulders. Okay, I'll ask someone later, but now tell me your name. I already answered. It's too long. Is there a short one? Naruto stared at the fox. My name is Kurama. The nine-tailed decided to introduce himself by his real name. Fine, that's what I'll call it, and now I'll go. I promise, I'll come back later. The girl smiled and closed her eyes. And when I opened it, I realized that I had returned to my room, already being in a female body. POV Naruto. I continued, that is, I continued to lie on the bed, staring at the ceiling. I'm a girl, damn you. Yes, Uchiha will make fun of me, if I meet him. Here's a chicken, well, to make a joke. How evil we are, Kurama? I asked, standing up. Well, who else? A voice rang out in my head. You're fucking evil. Why are you doing this to me, huh? Kurama didn't say anything to me, so I got up. The pajamas on me were damn tight and uncomfortable. Looking into my closet, I realized that there was nothing suitable for me there, because of my breasts, everything was not enough for me. Well, who is to blame that everything is with you? Asked Kurama, laughing a little. And you shut up. He wanted to make a joke. Were you kidding? And now I'm suffering. Well, don't be indignant, said the fox, laughing. I just rolled my eyes, not saying anything to the fox in response. Naruto, I'm here. A pink-haired girl entered the apartment and froze when she saw me. And who are you? Sakura, didn't you recognize me? It's me. Well, that is, I started scratching my head, my friend's eyes got bigger. What? Sakura is probably in shock and didn't believe me even now. Don't lie to me. Who are you, and how did you get into my friend's apartment? My friend got kunai. Sakura, you asked. Kakashi-sensei, who entered through the window, froze and stared at me. Naruto? He asked. Hurrah. I put my hands up. At least Kakashi-sensei immediately realized that I am me. Both stood and looked at me with such big eyes that I was having fun. I'm sorry, Hatake said, jumping out of the window. Kakashi-sensei. I'll be right there, he shouted, running away somewhere. We were standing in my apartment with Sakura and I decided to talk to her. Sakura, I have something to do with you. Huh? The girl moved away from the shock and looked at me, intently examining me. What is it? I have a wardrobe problem here. I pointed to my clothes and myself. I see, she nodded understandingly. I'll get you something. Although, under your size, Sakura frowned at my chest, and I instinctively covered it with my hands. Doesn't that mean you were supposed to be a girl? Better be quiet. There will be goals. I'm offended by you. I'm afraid, so what? I asked Sakura. I'll be there soon. I sat down on the bed and stared at this junk. Girls love order, right? That was the order for me. We won't be able to get rid of all our habits, not all of them. Can you be quiet? Go, I don't know to sleep. I advised him. I've been doing what I sleep for 13 years now, I said, to which Kurama growled at me, don't be impudent, so I left him alone, deciding that while I was waiting for Sakura, I would still put things in order. I put men's clothes in garbage bags, leaving my suit. I have a lot of memories with it and I didn't want to get rid of it. Leaving bags of garbage at the door, I met with an old lady who asked me about where Naruto was. Saying that I was his girlfriend, I returned to the house. I myself was already accustomed to the fact that I became a girl. It will be hard for others. And how should I tell them that I'm a girl? What has been done? Hey, Naruto, here. Sakura entered the apartment and handed me a bag of clothes. Try it on. Okay, I began to change clothes. Sakura helped me hide my breasts. We hid it under bandages for a while, because not one of the proposed bras did not fit me. Well, now you need to go to a couple of thrift shops and buy me clothes, otherwise yours is a little too small. I noted in my head that I was taller than the pink-haired one. Shut up. Sakura habitually swung and I habitually closed my eyes, but for some reason Sakura did not hit me. Do you have any money? Yes, there is. I was able to get a large amount of money by playing slot machine games while traveling with Jiraiya. While searching for Tsunade, I explained to the girl. Good. Come with me, I need female help in this. Sakura nodded and went with me. Meanwhile, at the Hokage residence. Yes, I'm telling you. Kakashi tried to convey to everyone that I became a girl, but no one believed him, taking it all as a joke. But Kakashi was so confident about it that she sent ANBU to look for me. They naturally did not find me as a boy, but Tsunade was informed that an unknown blonde very much like Naruto was walking around the village with his student. Poor Tsunade just gave the order and now I was standing in front of her with Sakura. Now she was standing and looking at me. She asked me various questions, the answers to which could only be given by me or Jiraiya. Thereby I was able to prove that I was not a spy at all. Realizing the whole truth, she crossed herself 3 times and put the empty sake bottle on the floor, hiding it behind the table. How did this happen? Have you studied the technique? What is it? She asked. No, it's much simpler. You all knew perfectly well that there is a 9-tailed demon fox in me, and I have been his Jinchuriki since the birth. The woman's eyes became larger, like everyone present here. And everyone knew that I was the son of the 4th and Kushina. But no one told me about it, except the fox. Have you lost control? No. I just went down into my subconscious, where he told me everything. For so many years I have lived in deception. And how much longer would you hide it from me? Until I lost my control and Kurama started controlling my body? Yes? I looked into everyone's eyes and saw that they blamed themselves, they were ashamed. The 3rd wanted to protect the village. Therefore, they were silent about it and no one told you anything, so that information would not leak. Please forgive me, too, Naruto. You're already a shinobi, and you can stand up for yourself and I should have told you about it, but I couldn't. I looked at Tsunade and realized that she wasn't lying and I should have forgiven her. Yes, it hurt and hurt me very much, but if I can't forgive, then won't I become the monster that I was called in my childhood? You are too strong, if you can forgive it, the fox said to me, somehow even managed to cheer me up and I completely relaxed, smiling. Kurama was in my mom before and knew about the child's gender. Deciding to make a little joke, he put an illusion on me when I was in the womb, thereby I was born a boy. His chakra, which was embedded in the illusion, ended and dissipated today. My real gender is female, I explained to everyone. Impossible, Tsunade said. I understand you, I myself have recently moved away from this, but it's true. I'm a girl, but that doesn't mean I won't become a Hokage. I raised one hand in a victorious gesture and the woman laughed, along with Kakashi. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a mirror and decided to approach it, looking at my reflection. Before that I still had no opportunity to see myself. 2 big blue eyes were looking at me, they became a little brighter and lighter than the old me. Sakura carefully braided my hair into 2 big high tails and they were straight gold. I was wearing an orange jacket similar to the last one, and instead of pants I was wearing black shorts with orange stripes. The protector was habitually on the forehead. I'll pick up enough perverts. Don't worry, we will cope with them. The support from Kurama pleased me. I was distracted from my own reflection and looked at Tsunade. For starters, Hokage began to speak, but there was a knock on the door and Shizuna's head appeared from there. Tsunade-sama is here. But she could not say anything because someone pushed the door and entered the office. This damn one, the old man is a pervert. I lit up with happiness when I saw my godfather and teacher in one person. Tsunade, and who is this beautiful busty? Jiraiya was not allowed to finish, because he was hit on the head with a book. Jiraiya began to scratch his head and looked displeased at Tsunade, who hit him. What are you doing? Well, you're a goofball, an old pervert. I was damn offended by the behavior of my teacher. Kakashi was able to recognize me, and he once again fell for a beautiful girl and completely lost his mind. I don't believe it. Jiraiya tried to move away from the shock and kept looking at me. It seems he could already understand why he had flown. Yes, I'm Naruto. What are you looking at like that? Are you using your transformation technique again? Jiraiya started shouting at me. And here it is not. I'm actually a girl. It's a long time to explain, then I'll tell you. But now I'm a girl forever, okay? The toad hermit frowned and began to look at me from top to bottom. And you know Naruto, a heavy and terrible pause, and the figure is nothing like that, a test. Pervert, yes, who would say? And who used to turn into a girl and seduce right and left? I was about to come up with something to justify, but Hokage interrupted us. So that's it. I don't have time to find out everything and everything. But now the most important thing is to inform the whole village that you are a girl. The remaining villages with which we cooperate, we reported this through Kage. Ordinary residents, I think, do not have to know about this, soon everyone will get used to it. I nodded my head, showing that I fully agree with Ba-chan's proposal. Naruto, let's go to the hot springs. Jiraiya was looking forward to something. Naruto, there is a very serious task for you. I need Sakura here, and Kakashi will go on tasks of rank A, and I just can't send you with someone because of my employment in the village. Therefore, the task is only for you alone. My eyes shone and I began to listen to the order. You will go to a ruined village in search of an artifact. I don't think there will be anything difficult. Do you dare to help me? Kurama? Do you mind? No way. Perhaps you will train me and teach me new techniques? Who do you think I am to you? Friend, who else? Kurama did not tell me anything. Here is the task itself, only I'm asking you. Be careful. I nodded my head, promising the Hokage that I would definitely cope without any incident. The old man is a pervert, and what are you doing here? I'm on business. I can't go with you, I chuckled, knowing perfectly well what business was being discussed. After saying goodbye to everyone in the office, I left the residence and went to my apartment, sent clones, I bought enough clothes, put everything in the lockers, and even threw out unnecessary junk. So I calmly packed my backpack and left the walls of the village. 3 days later I arrived at the place I needed. The village stood on the outskirts between the border of the Land of Sound and was destroyed. I started walking around and looking for the artifact I needed, but finding nothing, I listened to Kurama's advice and set up a small camp. After spending the night, I continued my search, but I was able to find the right artifact only in the evening. People from the Hugo clan were needed here. I was looking at a strange tube that glowed a little. Even Kurama did not know what this object was. Deciding not to bother my head with trifles, I just stayed once more for the night, and early in the morning I went back to the village. As soon as I crossed the gates of the village, the lookout shouted my name loudly, and several of my acquaintances flew at me out of nowhere. They started asking me if it was true that I was a girl and something else. Without saying anything to anyone, I used the substitution technique and went to the Hokage for answers. I can only congratulate you, she told me when I came to her. What are you talking about? Everyone who was informed that you had become a girl did not believe and went to me, and then decided to wait for you because they did not believe me. Therefore, I advise you to leave the village for a while. I looked at Tsunade. Where to? I don't know, but for a month or 2 you are released from assignments and you have a vacation, rest and gain strength, everything is free. Thank you for the artifact and well done for helping that village, I sighed, but I didn't argue with the Hokage and just left the residence. Somehow, through streets and roofs, I was able to get home. Collecting the things I needed, I ran out of the village. And what should I do? I asked my friend. Kurama was silent, and then he spoke. I suggest we go to the abandoned village of the Uzumaki clan. You can find a lot of interesting things there. Okay, then show me the way. The fox snorted at my underorder, but told me in which direction to go. I walked at a rather leisurely pace, talking with Kurama on a variety of topics that came to my mind. Kurama calmly answered everything, sometimes teasing me for my stupidity, but I tried to ignore it. And now I was scolding him for changing the color of my eyes from the usual blue to red. I didn't really care, but in the village where I wanted to stay, they were scared and kicked me out. Aren't you tired? I asked him. No, I like it. It is visible. Where do I go next? Now turn left, through the cave and you're there. So this village belonged to my mother's clan? I asked Kurama. That's right, they were dispersed and the village was abandoned. You did a good job with a single task, so I decided to show you this place. Why are you so kind? He just wanted to. The fox clearly did not want to admit that he liked the way I called him my friend. Tsunade kicked me out of the village, and even though I wanted to go on my vacation with Jiraiya, but he had his own business. It's good that Kurama was able to be generous and showed me the way to the forgotten village of my clan. Here you can find many scrolls about the history, culture, and moral choices of your clan. It was one of the most unusual clans. I looked around the area. There were many rotten wooden structures in the village, and the only building that was whole was built of stone and stood the furthest away. I went to him, thinking that the most interesting thing would be there. There was a seal on the door that didn't want to let me through. What to do? Balbacina. These are Uzumaki seals. You need a drop of blood and they'll let you through. Does that mean blood? I had to get a kunai. Cutting my hand, I put it to the door and it immediately opened. This is proof that you are Uzumaki, Kurama said. Good. To begin with, we will examine everything. What was said was done. It was a medium-sized building. There were products in the cellar under the same seals as on the door. Oddly enough, but the products were fresh and not spoiled. There was also a large library, which contained a bunch of books and scrolls, which occupied a large area of the house. In addition to the huge library, there was something like a kitchen and a sleeping place. There was no bath here, there was only a bathroom. Can I learn all this in 2 months? I doubt that there will be an opportunity to return here, I asked Kurama. The fox was silent for a while, then answered, Can you handle clones? Clones? If you didn't know, and most likely you didn't, then your clones are not ordinary. They are capable of a lot. One of their features is that after scattering, they can transfer all their experience and knowledge. In addition, there is a minus. From this you get their fatigue, because of which your endurance may fall into a minus. In addition, unlike regular clones, shadow clones need more chakra. Although you have no equal in stamina and in the amount of chakra, so it's wonderful. Tomorrow I'll start, and now let's just look at everything? The fox didn't say anything, but in principle I didn't need anything from him. So I took a leisurely stroll through the village, looking around everything. Other wooden houses were empty and I didn't find anything interesting. Tired from such a long journey, I immediately fell asleep as soon as my head was on the pillow. I immediately got into my subconscious, staring at Kurama, who habitually showed all his teeth, smiling. Do you want to become stronger? This question introduced a change of stupor, but I quickly came to my senses and looked at him. Yes. Thanks to my power, I can bring Sasuke back. I promised Sakura that. Even without my power, I won't become a Hokage, and I want to become one. This is my most important goal. I said it loud enough and confidently, because of which my voice echoed throughout my subconscious. Kurama was looking at me. It was hard for me to understand him. He talks to me, helps me, but other than that, I knew perfectly well that it wasn't easy. He's been imprisoned in me for 13 years, and during that time he's probably already missed freedom. Did he want to leave me? But why these questions? Well, I've been thinking. I don't see the point in killing you, you can live, he said in such a tone, as if he was doing me a favor. But to become stronger, you need to. I will help you, but my chakra is not infinite, you know, and I do not intend to treat your body forever. So be grateful, I will do your training. I beg your pardon, I won't repeat it twice. Let's start with your spiritual body. It should be made stronger as well. Although you are very strong, but you need to become even stronger. The nine-tailed man's tails began to sway with anticipation. So Kurama, the nine-tailed demon fox, became my teacher, if you haven't forgotten. But right now, next to me, he purrs sweetly when I stroke him, laughs merrily and smiles when I do something stupid, mocks me when something doesn't work out and supports me if I need help. He's a good friend, and I allowed myself to forgive him for killing my parents. No, some resentment remained, but it probably was so that I remembered who Kurama was. The fox, of course, is still offended by people, especially my father, who sealed him in me. When I woke up, I ate, and then went on the orders of Kurama-sensei to run, jump, push-ups and other nonsense, because of which my body hurt very much. It also got bad from the fact that Kurama didn't want to hear anything about him easing my pain a little. He just giggled viciously. Damn, I still don't understand. You explain it well, but I can't do it without seeing it with my eyes. A week has passed since my vacation. In the literal sense of the word, I lived by training. When I sleep, there are spiritual, after physical and brainstorming sessions. During the week I learned and remembered a lot of things. But right now I couldn't master the technique in any way. Kurama, what will happen if I let you out? You mean break the seal? Exactly. Die, how rude. And if your soul is transferred, I don't know, into my clone, then it would be possible. Let me out. Yes, the idea is not bad. Kara checked it out. We proceed to the implementation. Create a clone, loosen the seal, release the soul, absorb into the clone. Not right away. But we succeeded. There was a male version of me in front of me. The difference was in height, in hair and eyes. Instead of yellow hair and a hedgehog hairstyle, there were red, long, disheveled, tangled hair. Eyes were red with fox pupils. It worked, I said, raising my hands up triumphantly. However, the standing Kurama immediately fell. What are you doing? I was scared. How are you able to walk on these two? The fox was indignant. I just laughed. The fact that Kurama could now go anywhere really pleased him. The truth was one thing. The clone's action is of course eternal, but sometimes I need a reorder and Kurama returned to my body. But according to Kara, he is happy about this. I was glad too. We were able to bypass my father's seal, without destroying it. At the same time, both Kurama and I could use his chakra regardless of whether he was in the clone or in me. And so 2 months passed. I was able to learn quite a lot, not everything, but I have enough for a while. Kurama returned to my body and we went back to Konoha. I will have to pass the Chunin exam, and if Tsunade is satisfied, she will let me go to a 2-year training session with Jiraiya. It was said in a letter that was delivered to me by a male bird. This is problematic. Last time I couldn't, although then, there were many different interfering factors. But it's not that important. If I pass the exam, then I will be closer to my dream. And this is very important to me. You've become a power freak. Did you notice that? It seems to you. Having said so, I froze and began to look around. I felt a familiar chakra. I was sure that it was him. Taking off, I ran to the side where the chakra was felt. To have time, you need to have time. Fool. Besides him, there is also Orochimaru. How will you beat him? He's Sannin. Kurama shouted, but I didn't listen to him. Be in time, just to be in time. I was only thinking about it, jumping from branch to branch. I found myself near a cliff. There was no one there anymore. I sighed. I couldn't even see him. This upset me very much. Sasuke, what a bastard he is after all. When I see him. Sasuke. When I turned around, I saw my friend. A chill ran down my spine. My eyes were empty, I couldn't see anything in them except Sharingan. Not a drop of life. The pale skin became even paler. And he was thin and shabby. Naruto, he said my name and a spark appeared in his eyes. Why are you using your stupid technique? I don't use it, something makes me red and confused. What's wrong with me? Exactly. You don't use it. Then why are you a girl? I look away, his gaze is too intense. It just so happened, I hold on to the edge of my jacket. Is it useless to ask them to come back now? Will he refuse again, as he did before? Excuse me, I'll go. I go, slowly, and pass by him. But there was a chance to grab him and knock him out, at least you could try. Why didn't I do it? Has she really grown up? He asks again. Sasuke grabs my hand and I stare blankly into Tom's eyes. What does he need? Everything? And where are your cries that you will return me to Konoha? Where are they? Where did that Uzumaki I left beaten up there go? Where is he? Are you really Naruto? He squeezes his hands until it hurts and screams, but why? He said he wouldn't come back, never. He only needs strength. Sasuke, it hurts me, let go. Uchiha obediently lets go of my hand. Looks and is silent. What do you want? If you don't yell bad, you're silent too bad. So what? What's wrong? I kept looking at him, he was standing close to me and also looking, drilling a hole in me. Suddenly, he approached me, covering my lips with his. Why are you kissing me? Let go. What do you want? Why am I not disgusted like that time? Not enough, I want more. I listen to my heart, turn off my mind and open my mouth wider. He uses it, deepening our kiss. I've been kissing for so long, for the first time, and that's why I couldn't breathe, which is why I push him away. Sasuke, and what is it? I ask, and you move away from me, turns your back to me and go to. Are you with me? You ask. Where to? I don't really understand what it's about and I frowned. How to where? You smile, home to Konoha. Didn't you want to and to return me there? You did it, he says this confidently, turning his back to me and walking in the direction of Konoha. Is it really true? Not a joke? I took off, walking with Uchiha already on the same level. Is it really true? How? Why did he come with me then? I'm not dragging him to Konoha, but he's dragging me. It was fun, but remembering that kiss, what did he mean by that? And why do I want to taste his lips again? They are sweet, similar to vanilla. What is he doing? We walked in silence, but I couldn't physically keep silent for a long time, so I talked to Kurama. I talked more, but it was great to talk to him. We became very friendly, so I felt safe and very comfortable with him. Sasuke, the fact that kunai flew in our direction did not allow me to finish. Who could it be? Snake hissing, Orochimaru personally came here. Sasuke, Kun, where are you going with this lady? He was obviously not very happy to see his guinea pig running away. Shouldn't you care? Uchiha was unwavering. Yes? And if he disappeared and appeared next to me, striking kunai for an attack - kill her? I was lucky, Sasuke reacted much faster than I did. He pushed me away and blocked Sanen's attack. Then he stood next to me. Think about it, Sasuke-kun, who will give you the opportunity to take revenge? In Konoha, you will be a weapon. And in your experimental animals, Sasuke growled, striking a blow. Yes, he became stronger, much, so I thought. Sasuke-kun, why did you decide to leave me? Because of this girl? He looked at me with disgust. Even so, you shouldn't care. With people who are of no use, you need to get rid of. Orochimaru-san, you said so yourself. Orc chuckled and disappeared, saying finally, I understand you, Sasuke-kun. He left, and the brunette sat down under a tree. Sasuke is done with you. That's just they didn't let me finish again. Uchiha grabbed my hand and pulled me down on himself. It turned out that I sat between his legs. The pose was quite strange and embarrassing. Why am I embarrassed? Are you okay? He began to examine me. I was touched everywhere, arms, legs, stomach, especially the face. It was very embarrassing and at the same time it was very nice and warm. Sasuke's hands stopped on his cheeks. His hands were surprisingly warm, and I closed my eyes from this pleasure. And I probably regretted it, because at that second Sasuke kissed me. From shock, I opened my eyes and stared at absolutely calm eyes. The kiss was pleasant and a little childish, not at all like it was at the cliff. Soon he pulled away. Sasuke, stop doing that, I said, but he ignored it and bit into my lips again. You like it yourself, Naruto. I pursed my lip. He's right, I like it. I want more and more. It's not enough for me. Why did you go against Orochimaru? And why did you protect me? What motivates him? Maybe this is Orochimaru's plan? Maybe he still needs something from Konoha? And Sasuke obediently does everything, but why would he kiss me? It's not the first time he's done this today. And he cares about me so much. Because he won't give me anything. Because, shrugging his shoulders, Sasuke answered my questions. Because? That's the explanation, and what am I supposed to do? How to understand it? And why wouldn't Orochimaru give him something? I was sure that this demon was able to show and teach Sasuke different techniques. It's a shame he didn't recognize me, but that's fine. I see. What do you say to the village? He smiled strangely, but he didn't say anything to me. I wanted to get up, but Sasuke's hand wouldn't let me do it. I found myself in the arms of the topic. Sasuke? Can you be quiet for once? Let's just sit like this? Without saying anything, I hugged him and we sat in silence, hugging each other. After that, they silently walked towards Konoha. What were you doing here? A task? Are they really letting you in for singles? It didn't look like Uchiha. He was the first to break the silence. Yes. Let on one. And then the fifth one sent me on vacation and kicked me out of the village. Why? I just recently found out that I'm a girl. Imagine the reaction of others? Everyone started looking for me, asking. That's why Tsunade sent me out of Konoha's gate, I explained to him. I see. And where did you rest? I won't tell you. This is a secret. I put my hands on the back of my head and accelerate my step. Uchiha followed me, adding pace. So in the evening we reached the village. Near the gate, we were met by the attendants, and when they saw Uchiha, they immediately sent us to the Hokage. I had to go around half the village. I'm sure the whole village is aware now. Uchiha Sasuke is in the village. So. Are you saying you won't leave the village anymore? Sasuke nodded his head. Tsunade sighed. That's good. It's good that you changed your mind about leaving the village and being an apostate. I'll talk to the elders and try to review the case with you. I will have a separate conversation with you, but later. Now you're going to live with Naruto in the Uchiha quarter. I didn't even argue. It was necessary. The fact that the Uchiha, who became an apostate, left the village, and then returned is extremely suspicious. Surveillance will be established for him. This is understandable, and I just want to be. Besides, there are no prospects to live in my little room. I just can't figure out why I am. Because you came with Uchiha. Perhaps she has suspicions that it is because of you that Uchiha is in Konoha. You're right as always, we didn't have to wait long. After leaving the Hokage's office, we went to my house for the night. Uchiha didn't mind. But early in the morning, having collected everything we needed, we went to the farthest district in Konoha, the Uchi quarter. This place was definitely abandoned. Thickets everywhere, unpainted buildings, and much more testified that no one had lived here for quite a long time. And where is your home? Uchiha walked in silence and said nothing. It must be difficult for him right now. I feel sorry for him. Lose your entire clan and be the last. It must be terrible. I do not know what it means to have a family, because I have never had one, but I have always wanted one, since childhood. And Sasuke lost her early, and even because of someone, a younger brother. Soon we reached the house. Uchiha immediately began to command, no matter how, and the house should be put in order. Without hesitation, I connect my clones. I began to help Sasuke. However, they did not work very amicably. They swore and even fought sometimes. But still, during the day we managed to put the whole Uchiha house in order. Tired, I fell asleep on the floor, not even deigning to undress. ****. I woke up in the same place where I slept, though under a blanket. Probably Uchiha decided to feel sorry for me and laid me down properly. I didn't see Uchiha in the house, but I didn't wonder where he had gone. If he had run away, they would have already reported. Getting up and stretching, she went outside. The weather was beautiful. Without hesitation, I started the usual exercises in the morning. Jumping, squats, push-ups and jogging all over the ecchi quarter. Then she sat down and began to meditate. The meditation was interrupted by none other than Sasuke. He came with a package of groceries. "Good morning," nodded. Uchiha went to the kitchen and I followed him. He put the products on the shelves and then started cooking. It even became envious. I didn't know how to cook. In principle, I was very different from the girls. No matter how I lived before as a boy, I can clean the house once in 100 years. Sasuke was very lucky that when I left my hut, I cleaned it. My house would have killed him without any pain. I don't really know how to cook, except to brew ramen, and to plan a tomato salad. I also don't like to wash, but with Uchiha I will have to adhere to the order. Surprisingly, he doesn't look like me, even when I was a guy. It was similar that he wanted to punch me in the face, and I answered him only now there is nothing like that at all. With Sasuke, no matter what I said before, it's cozy, warm and I feel protected. It would seem that what has changed in it. Maybe it's because I haven't seen Uchiha for so long? There's no denying it. Bon appetit. Behind my thoughts, I did not notice how Sasuke finished cooking. And the same to you, wishing you a pleasant one. I started eating. The food was very tasty. Delicious, I drawled with pleasure, patting my stomach. Sasuke also finished his meal. I got up and began to clean up the dishes. Uchiha arched an eyebrow questioningly. "You were cooking, I was washing the dishes," I explained. As the days went by, Sakura and Kakashi came to us more than once, we held joint trainings, and so, Uchiha Sasuke, the 5th Hokage, is calling you. Anbu is on time as always. Uchiha left with him, leaving me alone. Multiple cloning, folding the seals, I created a male version of myself and released Kurama. He needs to stretch. What do you think they'll say? Kura asked, rolling his shoulder. For some reason, I think only about the bad. Not knowing what to do, I sparred with Kurama. ***, he's been gone a long time. I couldn't find a place for myself, walking around the room, waiting for this guy to finally come home. My stomach rumbled treacherously. Well, that's how I wanted to have a snack at the wrong time, and here is the familiar chakra, noise, and cherished words. I'm at home, I used to have to say them into the void, and now these words are telling me. And I have to answer this person, welcome back. I don't hold back my emotions, I run into Sasuke and hug him. He froze, and then hugged me. What happened? Why is it taking so long? What did they do to you? I pulled away from him and began to examine. It seems to be intact. I'm fine. He took my cheeks and kissed me. He hadn't done this since returning to the village. And after the kiss, he hung on to me and burst into tears. I definitely didn't expect this. Then Sasuke told me what happened to his clan and why Itachi cut him out. I fell for it, I wanted revenge. Yes, I could have stayed here and none of this happened. I would have been next to you. He hugged me tightly, I tried to calm him down. Soon he and I were in the living room drinking tea. It seems to have calmed down. I decided not to bother Sasuke and wanted to leave. But he put me in my place and wouldn't let me move. Don't leave me, there was no choice, I had to sit down and continue the conversation. We both fell asleep in an embrace. ***, congratulations, you passed the Chunin exam. Sasuke congratulated us on completing the exam. Now I can go on a trip with Jiraiya. We left the office and went outside. What are you going to do? Sasuke knows about my plans perfectly well. I was wondering what he decided. I decided to join the ANBU under the guidance of Hokage. I'm not going to Danzo's, he said calmly. Clearly. Until the next meeting, then? I turn and smile at him. Yes, until the next meeting. Jiraiya was already calling me and I ran to him, and then turned to say goodbye to Sasuke, and Sakura and Kakashi appeared. They were all waving at me. After that, I was already walking with Jiraiya. He has to teach me and I will try to master everything. You're ready for anything, except for your jokes. Except for them, am I really that dangerous? You're not dangerous, except for your black humor. Do you think Sasuke will be okay? You and this Uchiha are in a very strange relationship, you know, but I think he won't run away anywhere. I hope days passed, they turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and those flowed into years. I am Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed demon fox, returning home to Konoha. Well, is it weak to reach Konoha in one day? Jiraiya narrowed his eyes. He's arguing again, he knows he's going to lose. I'm not his past self, so I don't know how to beat him. Good. On a wish, he grins, silently counting to 3 and starting. It will take a long time to run, because walking to it is a week. But a dispute is a dispute, and I will win. The victory is mine. And POV Naruto. A guy about 15 years old was sitting on a tree branch, a mask on him hid his face. A hawk landed on his hand and he opened the note that was tied to the bird's paw. I'll be there soon, Naruto. POV Naruto. And so we ran for quite a long time until it dawned on me. Or rather, it dawned on Kuru. You studied Minato's technique. So why are you running? Right. After folding the seals and finding the right kunai, I teleported. I wonder what the hermit will say to this. Well, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that I'm ahead now, and so, without thinking for a long time, I teleported again, moving along the kunai towards the village. I can only move to the point where the kunai with the seal is located, so I had to run the rest of the way. But I won anyway. It was already getting light, and I flew to the village with orange fire, because I used the chakra of Karama, and the first one who met me was the masked Anbu standing near the wall, whom I know very well, and he grew up. I got taller and gained muscle mass. I can't see his face, but I understand that he still remained handsome. He's 15 now, and he's a very handsome teenager. Stop. What did I just say? Do I think Sasuke is handsome? Although I won't even deceive myself. I like Uchiha. Sasuke. I fly up and hug him, he catches me in a jump and hugs me. Such reliable hugs feel protected. His embrace is so reliable. Uchiha took off his mask and bit into my lips again. Why is he kissing me? Sweet. I haven't seen you for a long time. Kiss again, only on the forehead. He got taller, but he didn't even grow up. Okay, that's when Jiraiya came running. Naruto. Have you used your father's technique again? He was puffing. And what? Uchiha did not let me out of his arms. Well, no, I don't play like that. They didn't ask you. And yes, since I won, you will go to Tsunade to report. Jiraiya had no choice and went towards the Hokage residence. And you? I looked at Uchiha. Can you let go? No, you're coming with me. Where to? He took me in his arms, and soon we were near the Uchi quarter. He's changed somehow. What happened while I was gone? I was given back all my rights as the heir of Uchiha and, opening the door in the corridor, I saw Itachi. He listened to you and returned from Akatsuki to Konoha. He was forgiven and now he is like me in the ANBU. I was put on the floor. Glad to see you again, Itachi-san. He smiled and patted my hair. And I love you, Naruto. The atmosphere was quite calm and family, if you can call it that, next to the Uchiha. I met Itachi a year ago. Then Jiraiya and I got lost in the forest and lost each other. I was very lucky to find this Itachi. He wanted to attack me, but it didn't work out. It turned out that we were just sitting by the fire and roasting a bird. Itachi was cooking. I asked him why he didn't want to go to Konoha. He didn't answer me, but I see he's here, in Konoha, and next to him is his brother, Sasuke. In general, they both began to spoil me. And I didn't mind. Where will I sleep? I decided to spend the night with them, because the Uchiha house has also become my home. With me. Good night, brother. Sasuke grabbed my hand and saying goodbye to Itachi, he was off changing his room. I'm sick of it. What's wrong with him? Why is he acting so weird? Who am I to him after all? Sasuke, I called him, yes. Who am I to you? He looked at me. You're everything to me, he kissed me on the lips. And I looked at him and did not understand. Naruto, I do not know how and why, but before leaving Konoha, I was always thinking about you. What are you talking about? What does it mean? We were always competing and it was difficult for us to find a common language. But I understood him. We knew the pain and shared it between us. Sasuke put his hand on his cheek. I was drawn to you like a magnet. And I thought it was wrong. How can a guy be with a guy? He kissed my forehead. The appearance of Orochimaru was a chance to escape from you and from the feelings he felt for you. To escape not only from you, but also from myself, to break everything that binds us. He smiled at me, so bitterly that unconsciously I myself felt pain in the heart area. Then our fight in the valley. Do you know how I cursed myself? I felt very bad about it, I suffered. More than one painkiller from Orochimaru could not deafen this pain and my torment. He chuckled, then kisses my cheek. You started chasing me, Sasuke, go back to Konoha, but I couldn't. I was scared of the feelings I had for you. I was afraid I'd scare you. I was afraid you'd quit. I didn't really care that I fell in love with a boy, you can't tell your heart. I wasn't afraid of society, I was afraid to hear rejection and see contempt in your eyes. Sasuke was looking at me, and I understood. Sasuke did all this, I didn't leave for the sake of strength, no, it's also important, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is that I was afraid of my own feelings. Uchiha are monogamous and damn possessive. They won't fall in love twice. He started laughing and it scared me. And then we met and you were already a girl. You didn't scream, go back to Konoha, you just wanted to leave. I became angry with myself and spitting on everything left with you. Because I got scarier. I thought that the next time we met, you wouldn't even rush to me, if you could feel my chakra. Orochimaru won't give me more. My strength has always been you and only you. He stroked my hair. I don't know how I felt about you before. Or rather, what kind of emotions they were. But now, I perfectly understand what I want from you. Sasuke, I love you. Closing my eyes, I confessed my feelings to Uchiha. Can I interfere? Don't you dare, I'm glad to hear that. Because I love you the same way, and you know, he pecked me lightly on the nose. You can't get rid of me that easily. Yeah, **** over the 2 years of our relationship, quite a lot of different events have passed that will remain in my memory forever. Uchiha and I have become very close to each other. At the same time, Sasuke was very jealous of me. He wouldn't let me take a step to the side, which is why we often quarreled. Besides Sasuke's jealousy, more serious things have happened. I mean, the fact that Itachi left Akatsuki did not affect the organization. They continued to steal the tailed ones. Because of this my friend Gaara died. He was still revived, but what was the price? Konoha was even destroyed. If it wasn't for Sasuke, I think I wouldn't have coped with all the pains. Uchiha and I, to the envy of many, work very well together. We understand each other just by looking into each other's eyes. The silence that is rare for our guest is not oppressive, but quiet and calm. We both realized that we love each other very much and this love only grows stronger. I remember one incident. When I was jealous of Uchiha that day, the Hokage called me and began to lecture me that it was always necessary to carry out a mission according to a pre-negotiated plan, and not the way I did it. You're only working with Sasuke according to plan. Why can't you do it without him, Bachan? It seems that you know this reason. It's no secret to anyone that Uchiha Sasuke and Naruto Uzumaki are dating. Sakura joked for a long time that I returned Sasuke to the village well enough. She didn't take offense at me, but rather teased me for a long time. Oh, my God. I get it, so you're going to go on a mission with Sasuke. Thank you. She allowed me to leave the residence and I went to Sasuke. We agreed to meet near Ichiraku. What was my surprise when I saw Sasuke and some girl. She obviously wanted to seduce him or something. He stood impassively and ignored her. I was glad that Uchiha was loyal to me, but jealousy wouldn't let go, and then I realized what Uchiha was like when someone approached me. And this girl tried to kiss him. I couldn't stand it, so I appeared between Sasuke and her. I was very surprised to see Ino. What kind of people? I smiled falsely. Naruto? Hi, it's been a while. So long ago that you forgot that Sasuke is busy? A murderous aura enveloped me and Ino hiccuped. You know, I have things to do here. Bye. She waved her hand and went somewhere in a direction unknown to me. Then two arms wrapped around my waist and whispered softly in my ear, busy, huh? Are you jealous? And I see you like it, who knows? He pierced and kissed on the shoulder. Let's go home. That night Sasuke and I slept together. After that, any of our arguments and quarrels ended in bed.so. The days went by and everything went to the Fourth World War shinobi. I honestly tried to stop it. I was able to stop Uchiha Obito from doing what he wanted, trying to reach his mind with all possible methods, and after the war I sent him to Obito for re-education. I found a cure for Itachi's disease by helping Sakura get him from the other world. Together with Sasuke, they rushed around the world like crazy, performing various tasks of the most difficult ranks. And how did they repay? They locked me up on Turtle Island, saying my life was in danger. Yes, Sasuke thought so. Of course, part of me was grateful to them. I was able to meet my mother. She has very beautiful hair. We were able to break the seal of Kurama quite well and generate our chakras. That's why I was eager to fight. They couldn't have done it without me, and Kurama. I was right. We could have dreamed of victory. Madara was a very strong opponent, but who said that it would stop me? I fought together with the strongest shinobi of our time, and not only. I even saw my father. He fought shoulder to shoulder with me. Maybe I didn't live with my parents, but I knew perfectly well that they were good, and the fact that Kurama turned out to be in me was not something bad. We became friends with him. He is my support and I could trust him. No one was waiting for Kaguya, but we had to pull ourselves together and continue the fight. She was impossibly strong, but I, Sasuke and Kurama, who stood next to us, did not give up. No one gave up. Sakura also helped a lot. If it wasn't for her, Uchiha would have lost his arm, and Itachi would have lost his eyes altogether. She was also able to restore Hyuga, who already wanted to throw away his skates. The war is over. We won, and then Sasuke and I didn't see each other for 2 weeks. I received instructions from my grandmother. She decided to leave the post of Hokage and go to work at the hospital. Jiraiya disappeared again, promising to return. They wanted to give the post of Hokage to Kakashi-sensei or Obito, but both sent this idea far away, and then everyone remembered me. After all, I am Naruto Uzumaki. I have always aspired to the fact that I wanted to become a Hokage. And so I was unlucky. I wasn't allowed to take a step. Everyone was happy that I would soon take over the post of Hokage. ****. I was sitting on the couch reading a scroll. Sasuke sat down next to him. After he sank to the bottom and I stopped reading the scroll, stared at him, he was standing on one knee, and in his hands was a box with a ring. Well, finally. He did it, said a passing Kurama, who returned to my body. Did you know? I asked him. Of course I knew. I'm too much of a godfather for the first child. Kurama, Naruto, I love you very much. I would like to connect our relationship with you in marriage and that I could say that you are my wife. Do you agree? I got off the couch, pouncing on Uchiha. Yes, yes, and 100,000 yes. Sasuke. God, I'm so glad. He chuckled and put a ring on my finger, and then kissed me. You're mine, Uchiha said very seriously. Forever. I felt very good with Sasuke and I don't regret my choice a bit. This is a joke with illusions. It turned out well. Naruto Uchiha was sitting in her chair and filling out some papers. 3 children burst into the office without knocking. Mom. The blonde looked at her children. It's been 16 years since she became an Uchiha. Too many pleasant events and a lot of work have piled on Naruto. Firstly, when he and Uchiha arranged a wedding, she was already 6 months pregnant. She and Sasuke had a son, Menma. After that, 2 years later, Itachi and Sakura began dating. When they signed, Naruto was in labor. She gave birth to her second son, Boruto. Things in Konoha and in the whole country of fire were good, and not only in the country of fire. When Boruto turned 3, Sasuke found out that she got pregnant for the 3rd time. This time she gave birth to a daughter, Naruko. Mom, why can't we go to the scan with Uncle Kurama? Maybe because it's dangerous? And now, at the age of 33, she became pregnant for the 4th time. The belly, unlike the previous times, is bigger and, as Sakura herself says, she will have twins. Well, Mom. We will be with Kurama, what can be wrong with us? Yes, and the brother in ANBU, yes, Menma succeeded. Menma only had a similar appearance to his mother when she was a boy. The only thing he had was black hair, like his father. The rest of the mother, big blue eyes, stripes on the cheeks. But his character was paternal, he allowed fooling around only with relatives. He is a very capable child. At the age of 16 he has already been able to achieve a lot. And it's not because his mom is Hokage. Naruto, on the contrary, refused to accept her son into the ANBU until the last. But he was able to achieve this, not without his father's help, but he did. And the father allows. Sasuke became the head of the ANBU. Itachi replaces him. Is he doing what right? I say no. And Boruto, aren't you being punished? The eldest son was the pride of their family, but the second son completely took after his mother in her childhood, when she was a boy. Boruto was literally a copy of Naruto. He was blonde with blue eyes. Instead of 3 pairs of stripes, I had 2. The character was like Naruto's. He could easily paint the faces of the Hokage. Use the technique of seduction on passers-by. And once he tried to repeat not the most pleasant moment from Naruto's biography. He tried to steal the scroll, the one that Naruto herself stole once. However, he did not succeed in anything. That's what, and the security is developing well, and now Boruto has let his team down by stubbornness, which is why he had to call for reinforcements in order to save the team and complete the task. Well, Mom, Naruto had Uchiha's eyes. The same black as his, though more lively and happy. The girl had red hair. As both parents decided, the Uzumaki genes decided to make themselves felt, and compared to her older brothers, she was better versed in printing techniques at such a young age than the 2 of them. But the fact that they are all children of Uchiha Sasuke proved Sharingan. All 3 of them had it. And also terrible cold-bloodedness during assignments and the greatest devotion to the family. No, the children groaned again. Naruto was very surprised at how much Kurama protected her children. Especially her daughter, but she was grateful to Kyubi. Very strongly. Somehow he saved Naruto from being kidnapped. Unfortunately, he was able to become a godfather only for the 3rd time. Before that, everything didn't work out. Then Itachi, then Gaara. And finally Naruko is his goddaughter and his favorite. Naruto, I want to take them. You know nothing will happen to me with them. And then it's a regular reconnaissance to the land of sand. Kurama entered the office, just as without knocking. He was now constantly in a clone of the former Uzumaki. I'll see how you won't leave me alone. Good. But Kurama, a terrible black aura appeared around the woman. If something happens to them, I will castrate you. Kurama felt sick. He knows that this woman in anger is very scary. And only Uchiha is able to stop her, and then, not always. Thank you. The happy children took turns kissing the blonde and left the Hokage's office together with the fox demon. Half an hour later, Uchiha Sasuke entered the office with a bang. Did you let them go? Naruto raised her head and nodded. It is better to agree than to send a whole team of ANBU in search of the children of the Hokage and the head of the ANBU. Have you forgotten what they did last time? No. I remember perfectly. Uchiha stood up from behind and hugged Naruto by the shoulders. She relaxed from such pleasant touches. 4 more months? Yeah. Poor Shikamaru, he'll have to replace me again, Naruto chuckled. Yeah. He and Temari have only one son and he is very jealous of me. In the plan that I will have a decree. When will you return to your duties? I think in a year. Kurama will be happy to become their babysitter. Naruto stroked her stomach. I love you. And I love you, and they kissed. Everything didn't happen the way it should. Some kind of joke is to blame for everything. Don't play with your demons, they will give you a good joke. This is the end of the guys.